Today was about as unpredictable of a day as I've ever had. I started out thinking, there's a good chance it's not snowing this morning. I can get some painting done, or something outside, or whatever. Well, I went to bring Joe's parts in from the garage, and it started snowing right away. So I knew, I checked the weather, and they said it's 6 to 8 inches of snow coming. And I just said, well, I throw the towel in. I had a couple of polishing and cleanup jobs to do relating to the wheel project. So I thought that'd be a good thing to do. Then Karen said to me, well, before the snow really builds up out there, she wants to go see the baby and the puppy. Well, I'm glad we did that because by the time we got back, the snow was pretty deep. And I had to spend half of the day doing a MotoGP snowblower job. But I did manage to get one of the discs cleaned up. May not even use this disc, but I want it cleaned up anyway. And thank you, Dallas, for the heads up on that disc swap deal with the GS. But it was a very unpredictable day in every way that can be unpredictable. Now this morning I'm looking at how this is drying up under a heating vent. Wow. This has really exceeded my wildest dream. And Dallas, I hope you're impressed. Dallas, of course, has the exact same, similar bike 1 year later. Anyway, that's drying up. All our tests are matching. It looks pretty good. I guess this is the bad part of the day, though. It's supposed to snow all day. So I want to get Joe's part in here and get everything rearranged and then figure out how I want this day to play out. If I have a choice. Well, this didn't take long to make this decision easy. Well, I guess there'll be no painting today. And go see how Joe's part is coming out. Oh, we got to make sure we have a big hole in the pond. Just a winter wonderland. It just never ends. And there they are. My children. Well, we will make another plan for today, but that pretty much makes a lot of decisions very easy. Flip these battery chargers and get down there and have some coffee. Nothing makes a day start off better than a good cup of coffee. That's for sure. And some custom wheels. And what could be more evil than a GS1100 with evil wheels? Well, I can't wait to see these installed. So Joe, I'm sorry I got some snow on your parts here. It'll come right off. I'm looking for anything that doesn't look like, or any little repairs I need to make. Now one thing for sure, where the decals go, yeah, that's perfect. And now we're waiting for two things. Before I can do anything else, I need to have the clear from Joe, and then the next thing we'll need is the decals. Both of them are on order, so that's out of our control. And I think I'll just put this back up on basically back up on a work table and count this as a success. This part, the body work and the paint and the match, I think are pretty much in the bank. I think that's going to be a really even better than a good color match. I think it's going to be perfect. But again, every time I get this part, I bring it in here, I always have to remind myself, yes, that is a very close color match, but I have to take into account that this part has the clear, this part doesn't. So that makes, well, that's one watershed in this job, and from this point on, we're just waiting for that clear. I do have a bunch of hardware, stainless steel hardware to polish up. I did want to see if this, spend some time, I'm not going to do it in the snow, if this would fit on the FZR or the green bike. And Turbo Steve, I think it was Turbo Steve. No, it was Joe, had this exact muffler on his bike. He said it's got a nice mellow sound. Well, we got projects within projects, and this is ready to be wet sanded out. So I just have, this is the problem on every day. I have to decide what's going to be appropriate to work on today. Yeah, of course, whenever it's really snowing, we feed the birds extra, and they come to appreciate it. We don't jack their rent up or anything. We just give them extra seeds because we're good guys. Well, this morning it looks like there's going to be a lot of easy decisions to make, because as I work on a coffee, I look outside and it's it's starting to look like another winter wonderland. Maybe this day is going to go right down the tubes before I get, look, Karen's car was just coming out of its snow castle. Well, It's an unpredictable day. And boy, do they get hungry when it really snows like this. Guys, I wish I could make it stop snowing too, but... And you don't drink coffee, so it's the worst of all worlds. Making me wish it was Christmas all over again. Wow. What? Who knew this much snow was coming?
This is beautiful.
Beautiful, okay? It's a winter wonderland, dot dot. That's it, Karen wants to put the Christmas tree up. Mental illness. Yes, it's a winter wonderland here in Rutherford, New Jersey. Boy, I talk about you don't want to have any Groundhog Days. I don't want to have any Groundhog Days, of course, but... And this certainly will not be a Groundhog Day. Just get ready for some unpredictable weather. Ha ha ha. Frosty's not done with us yet. Well, as this day is playing out, it's starting to look like this might be a total write-off. And every once in a while, we do have a total write-off. So Karen changed the whole plan today. She wants to go see the puppy and the baby before we get snowed in here. And luckily they live very close, of course, but it is truly an unexpected winter wonderland, and we're going to head out and see our puppy. Hey, buddy, you're getting big. You're getting big, buddy. How big is he getting? You don't weigh him, though, do you? No. He looks big. Wow.
Yeah, that's big.
Oh, my God, I see how big he is. You got my Versace shoes there. What are you doing with my shoes? Hey, stop chewing on my shoes. That's terrible. What a misbehaving animal.
Come here, you.
What am I going to do now? I only have one shoe. Oh, you're going to bite me now? Hey, hey. So we had a nice little visit with the puppy before the snow really got too deep. But it's going to be snowing all day, so I don't think I'm going to get a whole lot done. But one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to get my hardware polished up. I have a lot of new hardware that's going to go into this job. Most of all, the bolts that are going to hold the discs on. And these are stainless steel. They'll never rust. And very high grade stainless steel. And the only thing I have to do is polish the ends on the buffing wheel. And I can set this aside. I got enough for the front 2 discs and the rear disc. So the reason I like to use the stainless steel, of course, is once it's polished, it's never going to tarnish. And pretty much, for the life of the motorcycle, it's certainly never going to rust. And the stainless steel bolts are usually available in 2 grades. This is the stronger of the 2. I've never had any of these even tarnish. They repolish up. If you do a repolish on them, beautiful. Sure if you can really see the difference between a polished, this is the polished one, and they still, this high grade stainless steel really does come with a nice finish, even if you weren't to polish it. But everybody that knows me knows I'm going to want it polished. Unpolished, polished. 2 minutes at the buffing wheel and it'll stay like that for a very long time. One more little detail for our job, and I think, well, I'm getting a gut feeling here. I just looked outside to see it's still snowing like crazy. We may have to surrender here today. And one little thing before I go out to do some more snow blowing. Boy, it really is snowing out there. I thought I'd run a wire wheel over this just to clean this up. I'm pretty sure we're going to do what Dallas suggested, use the front disc. But I want to have this one put away in storage, and I don't like to put them away when they're all gringy looking. Now, and fast forward, this really was some time-consuming stuff, cleaning that disc up. But well worth it before I put it away in storage. I like to put it away clean. And one tool that's handy for removing this kind of oxidation is this little orange wheel. I have these orange and black. The black seems to be heavier cut. This is a much lighter cut. And on my trusty Harbor Freight drill. This really is a useful tool for getting around some of the corners and angles and edges and in those little valleys there. A very, very useful tool to have in your arsenal. Also, all of the selection of wire brushes you can get. You can't really see how quick this goes, but this really does remove a lot of the oxidation very easily in a very short amount of time. And then from that point on, we'll be using other tools. Now this is in fast forward, of course, and it really does get in a lot of little nooks and crannies. Actually, even better than a wire brush does. It's a good tool. Another tool that's real handy is the little wire brush. Of course, all Harbor Freight stuff. And this allows you to get in some of the little nooks and crannies. And of course, this is fast forward again. A good selection of these inexpensive wire brushes just make this job go relatively nice. And one final thing, we can use a wire brush to clean up the edge. Very conveniently in a drill press. And of course a drill press with a variety of wire wheels just makes this job go as quick as possible. Ultimately it cleaned up pretty well. Just clean that up just a little bit, just make it a little bit nicer just in case we use this. Well, ultimately, the story of the day is that the snow won this round. And it's still snowing, and I got to get back out there. And that's going to be the end of, at least we got to see the puppy today, and the baby. But it is just unpredictable, and it's supposed to go on for basically all night. So we wake up in the morning, who knows what we're going to have here. It's a winter wonderland. Well, even though the snow won today, we got some parts and bolts cleaned up and whatever. So. But again, every day unpredictable. Now what I'll try to do is, I'll try to look for some interesting stuff from our photo album, something we can put out there to round out the day when I go to edit this. But right now, it's snowblower time. Anyway, I do want to keep, I always keep these parts, and I want to keep them in as good a shape as possible. Even though, and again, thank you, Dallas, we're going to wind up using our lighter disc, and this actually is probably a nicer shape too, but these are all old parts from old motorcycle, like old me anyway. Anyway, having these bolts polished up, even little things like this, I always like to get all my stuff prepped up. We need the curvy girl on that. We need to get one more coat of clear on the wheel probably. So I make up my little schedule of things. But when the snow comes, everything gets unpredictable. So thank you to the healthcare workers. I hope you guys had a lot better luck getting to work today than I had muddling over to the kids' house. And of course, in the end of every video, thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, we do try to post up something almost every day. Hey, even on a day we got snowed in here. And boy, did this day play out in a way I didn't expect. And we really did get buried in snow here by the end of the night. Anyway, I always like to go through my old picture albums, and this is from 2014. Now imagine 2014. There's a couple of things to remember about 2014. This is at Shoppers, and they were selling Royal Enfields in 2014. We were riding the West Cooley bike, and we would always stop at Shoppers, and they would always have a Royal Enfield parked out in front. And we went up and saw the latest Ducatis. And this is at Rockwell. Tim was riding a Norton on a regular basis, which he still has. And everybody had an opinion about these Royal Enfields. I think Pokey even wanted to buy one. This was a woman that used to ride her Ridley up there. And we had a guy that, I don't remember who this was, that he had a Honda little, whatever this is, I don't know, 50cc, 90cc, something cool. And the usual suspects that we would see up on Perkins. Now, the thing that's different about the world now, we missed a whole year of Perkins. And, well, I'm not sure it's going to be, we're not going to miss another year. But it was a great place to have these meetups. I love to look at the old motorcycles. I love to see if I recognize people that maybe I wouldn't recognize ordinarily unless I see their bike. And we love to look at the new MV Agustas up in Rockwell. Well, we like Rockwell. They have been a good friend for many years with their Christmas parties and whatever. And of course, all their really high-end bikes. And who doesn't want to have some of these high-end bikes? I do. So if you hit the lottery, buy me a few of them, and I'll get rid of these old guys I have. But I dream like that. But in reality, I like my old bikes. I'm happy with them. And I love my MT-09. Boy, that was the surprise of the century, how good that MT-09 is. And I think the upcoming season, I have high hopes that we are going to be done with the COVID, and maybe my hope should be that we're going to be back on Perkins, linking up with all our old friends that we haven't seen in many years. And boy, did we enjoy some of these days. And maybe even see somebody that has a Royal Enfield. I don't know. But I know Choppers isn't going to open. By the way, that Ridley is a pretty unique bike when you look at it close. It looks like a Harley from far away, but it's a unique bike. Don't see a lot of them around. And there's Dave. And we're going to end the video here with Mark's Passo, something he still has. I know he was working on a carburetor last time we talked to him. Anyway, hope you did enjoy the video. Thanks for watching.